Hey family, Chauncey fam here, back with another Connect for Real. And today is gonna be fun, y'all, because I have one of my newest favorite people. Don't know how in the world we are just now crossing paths, but since we have, it's been a whirlwind. We collaborate, we chat a lot. And so welcome today, Mr. Will Higgins. How are you doing, Will?
What's up, Chauncey? How you doing, my friend?
Doing pretty good. Man, I'm excited about what we're going to talk about because I think this is something that isn't talked about enough in real estate, which is part-time agents, switching from being a part-time agent to a full-time agent, what, being a dual career agent means, strategies, tips, tricks that you can use to go from being part-time to full-time. So we're going to dive into that here in just a little bit. But first, tell everyone a little bit about who you are.
So, born and raised from New Orleans. Some folks can't believe it because, right, I don't have the accent, but get me around my people and trust me, you'll hear it. So, born and raised from New Orleans. Went to Clark Atlanta University. So,
Okay.
all my HBCU folks stand up. Clark Atlanta University. After that, after undergrad, I went directly and got my MBA. So, I have an MBA in marketing, and I get to use it every day, and I love it.
Right. Yeah.
So finished my MBA, then worked in corporate America, did everything the traditional way. So worked in corporate America for 12 years at the railroad. Um, the railroad, yes, the railroad.
Okay. Okay.
When when I say no conductor hat, I wasn't driving the train, so I was in sales. So I did sales for the railroad for 12 years at a high level, and found real estate, and really haven't looked back. So I started part time. I think that's where this conversation is going to come from. I started part time, got Rookie of the Year at my previous brokerage as a part time agent. Then just grew once I left my company. I took a severance package back in 2019, January 12th to be exact, 2019. The best decision ever made for me was when
Right.
they let me go, and it's just been a rocket ship since. It's been taken off.
How cool is that? So how long have you actually been licensed though?
Yeah, so I just hit my 4 year mark. So licensed 4 years, and for about a year and a half, I really just did it, kind of dabbled and did it part time. And really 3 years or so, two and a half, almost 3 years, I've been full time and going at it.
Okay. And just so the people
Hmm.
know, like a little bit, like you've only been doing this full time for kind of a short amount of time. Like
Yep.
what are your numbers looking like in terms of like around your sales volume? Don't you have like a team right now of like 50, but your personal sales volume is around what?
Correct. Yeah. So a couple of things. So yeah, it's been growing. This is definitely a grind. I'm blessed to be in Southern California. So our price points are a lot higher. You
Yeah.
know, so just starting out, my average price point was around 350, 400. So that's luxury for some people. You know what I mean? In some
Right.
markets, 350, 400. Now my average price point is around 750 to 800,
Right.
and I mean it just happens gradually. So year to date, so far, between what I have closed and what I have in escrow, I'm at about 15 million. So I should easily hit 20 million
20.
this year.
Yeah.
So that'll be a great year. But it's just been growing every year, and it's a blessing. It's been a blessing.
That is so cool, man. That's awesome. Okay, so then let's dive into the goods and what we really want to know. So the first thing I always ask anytime I do these Connect for Real type interviews is if you had to do a TED Talk tomorrow, an impromptu talk,
Yes.
you really didn't have time to talk about it, what would be the name of it? And just kind of tell me about that topic.
I would probably focus on HBCUs. Like I said, I went to an HBCU. It literally changed my life. So I went to a majority institution first, and then went to an HBCU. And just being around the people, the collaboration, the love. Like I think it's a huge part of me, and it shines out. You know what I mean? In everything I do.
That is awesome. And the fact you went to Clark Atlanta, I think is very interesting. Fun fact, I actually got a partial scholarship to Clark Atlanta, but I didn't
What?
go, yes, because I was out of state and it was just too expensive. So the partial scholarship that I got just still wouldn't cover enough for me to go. So I ended up going to a school
Well,
here in Texas.
you probably made the best decision because I still have a couple of more student loans to pay off, but it was a hefty bill. So
Yeah,
you dodged a bullet there.
that's the book. All right, so let's dive into this whole part-time, full-time thing. I see it
Okay.
all the time.
Yep.
Full-time agents bashing part-time agents and saying you can't do real estate part-time. Like, it's not a part-time thing. You have to be full-time. And you and I actually share, I think, some perspective on this, because I tell people when they first get their real estate license, if they have a job, don't quit your job.
Don't quit.
Do not quit your job. Because
Don't
what
quit.
most people are not really saying is that most people aren't good at real estate.
Yeah, right. Right. They are not. They are not. And you're not going to get business the same way Chauncey gets business or the same way I get business. It just won't work.
It just won't. And I really think that if you have a job and you have income, it takes stress off of your back to know that you have that paycheck coming while you're fumbling through and learning how to build your business. So tell me kind of like your ideas and everything on being a part-time agent and then transitioning over to full-time.
Yeah. So again, part-time agents, I feel like you guys are in the best position because just like Chauncey said, you don't have the stress. This is not easy. I mean, entrepreneurship period isn't easy. I know Instagram and social media has glamorized entrepreneurship, and it is great once it gets going, right? What would you think, Chauncey, as an entrepreneur? How many years? Year 3.
Year 3.
Year 3, year 4. But before that, year 1, again, I was working both jobs simultaneously and trying to do it at a high level. So for me, what my day would look like when I first started was I would get up at 5, go work out, right? As soon as I finished working out, I would go to the office, the real estate office that I was working at, and I literally would put out my computer for the railroad and do their work, right? So you got to keep that job, right? So I was doing their work till about noon, and then I would shut that computer down and then open up my real estate computer, and I'm cold calling, I'm setting up my business, I'm doing the traditional things, right? Because I needed to figure out what worked for me. And I kid you not, at least once a week, I would probably crash at 5 p.m. and wake up the next morning at 5 a.m. because it was taxing. It was taxing.
It is very taxing. I remember that too. When I first got my real estate license, I had a job. I had the luxury of being able to work from home, but I was an account executive for a marketing firm. So I worked from home, but I had very demanding clients, and I had to, constantly be pumping things out for them. Like, I'm basically customer service punching bag for, these clients and these large corporate clients. But that was kind of my schedule. I would get up in the morning. I had to actually work my full-time job first. During my breaks where my clients weren't bothering me at my full-time job, I'd send out emails, make posts on social media, and then I'm picking up my kids from school. And when my husband would get off work, doing showings at night, and then doing open houses and showings and stuff on the weekends. So I had no downtime at all. So much so to where I got physically ill after doing it for about 3 months because I never got a break. And I don't think that people understand that. They get into it part-time, but they don't really put together a strategy or a plan to kind of get out. So tell me about that.
Yeah.
What
so
was your threshold, or like, when did you know it was time to go full time?
So again, they made this decision for me, right? I was going to try to, I was going to try to do both as long. But one thing I did when I first started was, again, I had an MBA. I had interned in college and both in grad school. So I knew the value of learning on someone else's dime, right? So the first thing I did was I looked around. And again, I know success leaves clues. So I looked around. I was like, okay, who's doing it big? And let me go join them, right? So I joined a team. And the reason why I joined this team, it was a couple of reasons. One, they didn't give you any leads, right? Because I don't want anything from anybody. How does that saying go? Teach a man how to fish, right?
Give him a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him how to fish, he eats for life.
Thank you. So I joined a team, and the reason why I joined this team is a guy named Derek Oy. He's a big agent, but no social media, no presence, online. But I joined him because he was giving a like kind of a speech or whatever, and he said, "Hey, everybody on my team, this is like my SEAL team." He said, "Everybody on my team, you can take them, put them in a plane, parachute them into any market, and within 60 to 90 days, they'd be making money." And that shit blew my mind.
Right.
That shit blew my mind because I was like, oh, shit, that's what I need. You know, that's what I need. So
Right.
literally, there was no leads. He taught you grassroots, like how to get business. So I joined a team. So that's what it looked like in the beginning. So I joined a team and really learned. Was there every day, learned everything I could from that team. And again, it was an internship for me, right? So you may make less money, but it's you got to think long term. So many
Right.
agents now just think about the right now. Think
Yes.
about that. They just think about right now when you got a whole career ahead of you. So take the hit now, so that you can flourish in the future, right? So I did that for about a year and a half. Then I left his team and went solo. And when I went solo, boy, it was it's like I was able to spread my wings and I did things
Yeah.
my way, you
Right.
know? And that's when I started to flourish. But in terms of when I knew it was time to leave, so this was 2019 January. I had
Okay.
already closed 6 transactions, and I'm like, this is to put things to scale. So in corporate America, I think at that job I made like 150, right? Um, and I used to think $100,000 was a lot of money,
Right.
personally. So I made 150 on that job. In my first year in real estate, I made 60 grand. And I was like, whoa, 60 grand.
You
You
only
know,
sold a couple of houses.
I only sold a couple houses. Like, oh shit, I could do this. To put things in the scale, the next year, I made 150 grand in real estate when I had that full year, So I was like, yeah, I can do this. And then from there, it's just been up, 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 up. So, I think that's what gave me the confidence, and also how I got to be me, and like my personality, I don't know, my spirit, like everything that I am, rubbed people the right way.
Right.
They took to it, and I developed cheerleaders and people that really wanted to see me win. And at that point, I knew I could do it.
That's awesome. A couple of
Hmm.
things that I want to take from everything that you just said. So let's
Hmm.
back up to when you joined the team. I think
Yep.
this is very important, and I hope you guys caught this. He joined a team that did not give him leads. I
Hmm.
hear far too many new agents that get into the business and they're like, "Do you give me leads? Do you give me leads?
Yep.
You gotta give me leads." What I need for you guys to understand is that a lead costs somebody time or money.
Yep.
Why would they give you something for free
Yep.
that costs them time or money to obtain, and they don't even know if you close that shit? It
Yep.
literally doesn't make any sense. That's the first thing about leads that, like, as a new person and you're joining a team, look at it
Hmm.
from the perspective that Will did, because he got something invaluable from it. Instead of looking at, can I get leads to close a deal right now? He learned the skills that he needed to adapt and actually build out his own business. And that's going to feed him forever, as long as he's in this
Forever.
business. So I would definitely say, if you guys are going to join a team as a part-time agent to get the skills, look at a team that's going to teach you and not
Hmm.
just give you some leads and you just do one function on the team and move on. So I think that was really important. And then the next thing that you said, that really struck a chord with me, was our perspective being in corporate America
Yep.
on what good money is, and then getting into real estate. And you're like, that those numbers ain't the same anymore. Like,
They are not the same. But again, you take on all the risk,
yeah,
and most people won't succeed at this, right?
right.
So I think that was the difference. But it was like letting a Tasmanian devil out the cage when they fired me. I mean, like you should have seen. I remember the day that they fired me. Like I was rolling up to the crib, and I was on the phone with one of my buddies, and we knew they were giving out severance packages, right? And I was like, man, I hope I get one. And then my buddy was like, man, he hopes he gets one too. My phone rang. I came upstairs, and I don't know if you've ever been fired before or quote
Yeah.
unquote laid off,
Yes.
but they're all somber and not knowing that I'm building a whole
You like,
empire in the
yeah.
background, right? So I was like, how much are you going to give me to leave? And when he told me the figures, I was like, oh, okay, all right, okay. And I mean, I had so much like joy. My wife, on the other hand, she was sitting there looking, and she was just concerned,
Terrified.
Yeah, she was concerned, because there's a lot that goes into being an entrepreneur.
It is.
And she kind of had already taken the leap before me. So I have a household. It's me and my wife. We're both entrepreneurs. So if you think it's bad, you on your own, imagine
Oh,
being
yeah.
with two entrepreneurs. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But no, that is just great perspective though. And the reason that you were excited though was because you had joined that team. You'd seen how you
Yep.
needed to set things up, what worked for him that didn't necessarily work for you, and how you wanted to do things differently. So I think that that's great. So let's do some practical things. For the
Yep.
people that are actually listening that are part-time, they have their real estate license, they may not be very successful or haven't really closed that many deals. What would be some practical tips or strategies that they can implement tomorrow into their business to kind of shake things up?
Yeah, so the traditional things, right? They can definitely go out and do the traditional things, but they're gonna have something that the other people don't have. They're gonna instantly have a budget. So set a marketing budget for yourself, right? There's two ways to get business, either sweat equity or check equity. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself.
Yes.
Use the check. Use the check.
Yes.
Use the check.
I like that. Sweat equity or check equity.
Yes, use the check. And guess what? Once you close that first deal, go celebrate. I believe, and I tell all my people, when you close your first deal, celebrate that, right? I mean, it's just like a marriage, right? In the marriage, you want to remember the good times because when it gets hard, you want to have those memories. So go buy your red bottoms, go buy your bag, do something with that first check. But after that, you need to invest all of it back into your business, and that's the strength you're going to have over the full-time agent because we can only put a portion of it back into our business where you can go and put it all back into your business. And as a marketer, what do they say? The person who can spend the most is going to get the most clients, going to get the most business.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
So that is super duper important. So guys, if you have a job, like come up with a marketing plan. And if you need to understand how you can do that, reach out to Will, reach out to
Hmm.
myself, and we can definitely help you put some things together because both of us have a strong marketing background. So those are some things we can definitely help out with. Are there any other kind of tips and tricks that you would say they need to implement right now to kind of get going to switch over from being part-time to full-time?
Yes, don't do this alone. You cannot, like I said, if you can't join a team, get some friends, get two or three friends. Like what I've seen work well is that if you get these little like pods, so maybe three or four of you guys, you're gonna have different strengths, different weaknesses. Play off of each other. Again, combine your budgets, buy more leads, do more marketing. But I think you can't do this alone. So partner up with somebody that's either in the same position or that's doing this full time, and you can get the leads. You can do real estate from home. I did real estate from home in 2019 when I was growing my business. I literally did real estate from home. All I did was run Facebook ad after Facebook ad after Facebook ad, and I literally called all those people and had conversations with them. And then when they wanted to go out, I would go out. But what you would do is when those people want to go out, you refer them to your friend. And guess what? You get a percentage.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something that I did that I don't hear a
Hmm.
lot of people doing when they have a full-time job and they're trying to transition is your full-time job, you are probably somewhat an expert in that
Hmm.
field, in that industry, at that company. Leverage your strengths in your full-time job to get deals.
Yep.
So what I mean is if you're a teacher in your full-time job, you should have an intricate understanding of how the school systems work and how the organizations within the school systems work. So leverage those relationships to get all of the names and phone numbers of all of the PTA heads of the campuses of
Yep.
your district, all of the band booster club and athletic booster club heads, and then collaborate with those organizations on giving back and creating referral programs and charity programs where you're donating things. If you're a nurse, start doing some first-time homebuyer classes for nurses.
Hmm.
You know what their problems are. You know kind of what their issues are and what they're looking for. So leverage what you do in your day-to-day life to actually be a lead generating machine for you because you're already comfortable in that environment. And I don't see a lot of people doing that. They tend to want to keep it separate, but the leads are right there
Yep.
in front of you. You're just not telling
Right in
people.
front of you.
They're
Yep. Right,
right in
right in
front.
front of you. And what I heard was create a database, right? So
Oh
when
yeah.
I first started, what I did, it was so simple, but I needed to get as many people as possible. So the first thing I did was I opened my phone and went to the mail app and I typed A, and then all these names popped down, right? So I copied all those email addresses, put them in a spreadsheet. Then I went to B, C, D, and I got as many emails as possible. Then I went to LinkedIn because you could get numbers and emails from there.
Right.
I went there. I pulled everybody, and just everybody I knew. I had to get them into a database, and I had to start marketing to them. And guess what? You want people to unsubscribe because those are the people that are not interested.
Yep. I love that. So build out your database, guys. So these are like really practical tips that you can use right now. And you have the advantage. When someone's getting into this full time, they don't have that steady paycheck coming in. You guys have a ready-made marketing budget. So skip some Starbucks, skip some things that you may be doing and use that money for your marketing budget. Team up with some other people. I love that one. I have never heard that one. But team up with someone that's maybe full-time, do their open houses. And guys, you can really get in here and get after it. So then let's pivot just a little bit here off of the part-time, full-time agent thing. And let's talk about a thing that you did not too long ago.
Okay.
And that thing is you came over to EXP Realty.
I
You
did.
did come over to EXP. So let's talk a little bit about that because you were Rookie of the Year and all of those good things at your previous brokerage. So you're doing really well over there.
Right.
Why would you make the switch and do that?
You know, it was a couple things. So when COVID hit, right, it got a little harder for everybody to get business done. And as a newer agent, yeah, my first two transactions were listings. But what you'll learn is that it's easier for you to rack up buyers, you know?
Yep.
So I had a lot of buyers and it was just tough to get them into contract. So I'm just like, I'm full time now. So all my income is coming from real estate. So if I can't get buyers in the contract, there's no money flowing into the household, you know? Right. So that had me looking at other things. So I did a flip. I'm looking at Airbnb. I'm looking at all these things, and it takes a lot of capital to get any of this other stuff going, you know? KW had the profit share model, and I was so upset with it because I was never getting any of the profit, you know? So I had bought people over, right? But I was never seeing anything. I mean, it was triggering. I think one time I got 12 cents. I got a check for 12 cents. It cost 17 cents to print in ink and print in color. You know what I'm saying? It cost 17 cents to print in color. So after I saw the model and I saw I really have a passion for helping people and seeing them win. And I saw all that I was doing at the other brokerage and it wasn't doing anything to my bank account, you know? Yeah. So when I looked at the EXP model with the influence I already had, you gain when people join, but the benefit is bigger for them because I know I can help them. So watching that and really understanding the EXP model, I literally had to go. You know, I had just spoken at the Keller Williams conference, the family reunion, and I got so much flack when I left. But it's like, were you planning to do that? No, I wasn't planning to come to EXP. It was just when I saw it, I could not unsee it. You know, and I knew that I was doing my family and myself a disservice by staying there because I was missing out. Yeah. I know there's loyalty and all the other stuff. I'm an entrepreneur. If the next best thing comes, I gotta go.
100%.
I gotta go.
I gotta go. I don't care what it's called. Like, and that's what people don't understand. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, and at the end of the day, the brokerages that we're a part of, they're organizations as well. And like, they're here to make money too. So they're going to make moves that make sense for them. And we've got to do the same as agents. So I absolutely love that. And so how have things been going since you came over? Like, has business in terms of your personal production gone up? And then it looks like you're growing a team. Tell me a little bit about what that's looked like since you've been over.
You know, I love it when a plan comes together. You know what I mean? Most times as an entrepreneur, it's up and down and up and down and up and down. Literally everything that I thought would happen is happening.
Right.
So it's straight up, you know. So it's been great. I thought it would grow a little faster, but still, I'm at 50 people in my organization. So that's another thing I want to point the difference out. If you're at a traditional brokerage, when you think team, those are people that that they're on your team. They pay you a certain split, all that other stuff. At EXP, you have a team and you have an organization, right? So I don't really have a team per se. It's me, I have my assistant and a buyer's agent. So it's like three of us, right? But in my organization, I have 50 people.
Right.
And those 50 people, when they transact, the company shares some of the revenue with me.
Right.
Because we don't have brick and mortar. We don't have, Bobby Sue, who's the secretary, or Coffee, right, or, Jim Bob, who's the team lead and does all the recruiting and all that for the office. So we don't have all that. So the company's able to give back to us. So that's what I saw. In terms of my production, one thing I will say, it's gone up, way up. Right. But it's been the collaboration. Like the collaboration is unmatched. And that's what people don't get. When I was at the other brokerage, again, I guess I was at 3 years at that point, there's no reason I should be the number one agent. But when you're the number one agent at that brokerage, everyone sees you as competition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everyone sees you as competition. When I came over here, it was all collaboration. I mean, even now, like I won't say anything about our little group, but you know what I'm saying? We collaborate weekly. And it's not just me and Chauncey, it's other major influencers. You know what I mean? So just the collaboration across the board for me has been unmatched. And some people it's too much. It's too much to handle, and it's unrealistic. But this for me has been the biggest mind-blowing thing. In the shift, and my life has changed just from being at EXP for 6 months. Like my life has changed.
Legit. I'm the same way. I've been here 2 years, and I would say that is the unique value proposition. I say it all the time, like brokerages themselves are commodities. Like there's a brokerage on every damn corner. You get big brokerages, you can get franchise brokerages, you can get independents. They're all over the place. But what's really cool about this, I can pick up the phone and call Will Higgins, who, figured out how to transition from being part-time to full-time. And then his first year, full-time, doing millions and millions of dollars in production, and say, hey man, I've got this agent struggling with this. Can you talk to her for me?
Yep.
And he can walk her through his systems and is going to share that. Will can call me and say, Chauncey, I got this YouTube channel that's coming up. Hey, who's your editor? Who's your video people? Like what how do I follow this together? What do I need to do?
Yes.
Talk to him for an hour in the morning and tell him what needs to happen. And so that is invaluable, and it's something that you don't get most places because we are kind of all competition, but over here it's collaboration. I definitely really love that. So do you have any parting words for the part-time agent that's looking to transition into being full-time as we wrap this up?
Yeah, none of this shit is easy, but if you're in a better position, if you take the right steps, if you partner with the right people, if you read the right books, you know what I'm saying? Like you're in a great position right now. So don't let anybody tell you that you're not. This is, I don't even know what to say because you're in such a great position. You really just have to hone in and focus and partner with the right folks. So, I mean, I think that's what I want to leave them with.
Awesome. So then let's tell the people, let's give the people what they want. Tell them how they can reach out to you. Looks like your Instagram handle is at Will Higgins __. That is not one long line, y'all. That is two.
Yes, that's 2 lines. There you go. Two.
So at Will Higgins __. And then if they want to talk to you a little bit more about some of your strategies and things that you've done, then guys, hop on over to Will's website. He's got an awesome site over here. And what's the website, Will?
willhiggins.click.
Yeah, so scrolling down at the bottom, we've got willhiggins.click. Head on over there. And if you guys want to chat with him, you can book a call, get on his calendar right from that website. And thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Will, for coming on and chatting with us. And we'll have to do this again very soon. But until next time, guys, peace, love, and go sell some shit. Talk to y'all later.
Take care.